This is the Wandering Mike.
Welcome, everyone, to the Wandering Mike. Today I'm here with Luca. Hey, Luca, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. And you?
I'm good. Now well, same thing as the other times. Came back from work, and now we're sitting here. We're actually back at the Shipwrecks Museum because, as the people know, the last time we had to flee into the park because of the Amy Winehouse karaoke
Oh,
that was going on next door. So now we're back at our nice little spot next to the Shipwrecks Museum. Yeah, it was a little cold and windy day today in Perth.
it's getting colder and colder. That's good because the summer was so hot.
It, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be that hot, especially
Yeah, yeah,
when you're
yeah.
walking around all day. But I also don't really need rain, if I'm honest.
Indeed.
Um, how was your day?
Really good. Um, Lot of work and as every day since I'm here.
Right.
So yeah, pretty good. And I think it's ending good also with this. So I'm happy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice one. This one, I can feel it. Um, so to start us off, if you just want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe what you're doing in Australia, anything you want to share to start us off.
Okay. So my name is Luca, and I'm coming from France, southeast France, Nice, especially, and I'm here in Austria since September 2000, 2024,
Right.
and yeah, I'm enjoying the trip. As a lot of backpackers here, so I'm meeting a lot of new people, and it's really interesting to to have a feedback about Europe when you're not in Europe. And I think
Right.
we were talking about that 2 days ago. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm really happy here and enjoying to experience new things. And so yeah, it's getting pretty well.
Nice. Um, yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, we had like an interesting conversation a couple of days ago. But in general, the concept of just getting outside of your country, getting outside of your continent, wh- what's because I mean, obviously, I've talked about this on the podcast a bunch of times. The people know my opinions about it. So what do you think? What especially did you learn during your time here? What kind of insights did you get?
A lot actually. I mean, I can start with getting out of your border, and it starts when you're getting out of your house and your city and your region, and after
Yeah,
that your country, and after that your continent. So I left my home when I was really young, 19 years old, and
right.
discovered another country in the north of France. And after that, I've been more to the north and discovered another weather, another culture in the same country. And I think I'm keeping going on this kind of exploring after borders.
Mm,
So now I'm in Australia. It's really really different. Even its occidental way to live, it's like the same. We
right.
have banks, we have money, we have it's capitalism. It's like
Yes.
white way to live, and it's the the yeah, it's everything is coming from the colonization a few hundred years ago. So it's like really really close to American life, USA life, and it's like different from Europe, different from France, but it's really really close to white people, white Occidental people to way to live. I mean, when I say white, of course, I say like occidental, ancient way to live.
Yes.
So it's really close to me, and I'm feeling that it's just English and talking in English, and we are being paid every week. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
But since I'm here, I met a lot of people from Europe, and uh, and it's really interesting how I can feel, being not part of the country, but discovering the country of with a new eye. And it's like being a backpackers doing so many times, just not for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but for several months. It's
Yeah.
like a new experience, and I think everybody should try to do that.
Yeah. I'll definitely second that. And I feel like there's almost no episode where I don't say people should definitely travel. Because it's just, yeah, it does change your perspective. And you definitely, even if only subconsciously, but after you've traveled, even if you go back to your country or if you go to another country, if you go to another country, every time you travel, your mind kind of expands and your perspective expands. And it shows in the way you treat other people. It shows in the way that you interact with other people. Like all these things, even though you might not realize them at first, like travel can definitely change your way of interacting with the world tremendously.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I was like thinking about in France when I was living in France. From my point of view, um, for example, asking to people where are you from is kind of rude now. So
Mm,
because it could be taken in the wrong way,
right.
and and maybe it's the same in Germany.
I feel like it is a
Uh,
thing, especially in Europe, where it's kind of like perceived as like you're not from Germany, right? Like if yeah, you're born in Germany, but then the question is kind of like, what do you mean? Like where you're from? I'm German, you know? Yeah, I totally get what you
I
mean.
mean, I love just to discover people through their own history and through their own family history. And I love history also. So
Right.
when I'm asking to people, anybody, where are you from? Sometimes I can feel that it's like an attack, and I'm not
Mm,
attacking people. I'm just curious about people,
yeah.
and it's it was really hard to me to say this question to the people in France.
Mm,
But since I'm here, I'm feeling this attack way to ask question, um, from French people, just French people, and not
mm,
other people, because it's like we are traveling, so we like to discover new countries, new through people, you know.
of
So
course.
it's like when I'm asking to people, where are you from? It's just, oh, I'm curious. What is your history? And
Yes.
maybe I could try this question instead of where you're from. Like, what is your
What
history? But but it's it's like a way to talk. It's like a easy question, like where you from? And so yeah, I remember one day I was asking to a guy where he was from France,
right.
and he was coming from the same town as me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and when I said to him which neighborhood I was coming from,
Hmm.
he judged me because we were not from the same neighborhood. And I felt
Mm,
that it was like so stupid because we are from the same city. Maybe we
yeah.
could take the plane to go back one day. I mean, no, he
Yeah.
was like closing the doors because just I was like from a neighborhood different of him. And sometimes I'm wondering how is it possible to be friends with people from Germany, from Italy, from UK, from Holland, from everywhere in Europe, but not be able to be friends with the same guy from the same city just because maybe you want to feel unique. It's I mean, it's like I don't know, but it's really weird. And
No, it is weird.
I would love to be friend with a friend from the same town as me, because sometimes when you're feeling homesick, just talking about your own city, it's a good feeling,
Yes.
you know. So I was kind of sad to have this kind of, you know, reaction with this guy, but I'm not mad. That's the way it is.
It's so weird though because, like you said, for some reason that's still there. Like you guys, you met in Australia. You know, you met so far away, and then you get along good from what I suppose. And then just because you found out that you're from a different place back where you grew up, where you both no longer are,
Yeah,
that made him. It's
it's
yes,
weird. It's weird. I mean, I guess sometimes it's not just related with place we were born, but just maybe vibes. You know, like the way you are walking, the way you are talking to other people around you. I guess maybe I talked to his girlfriend and I didn't know what it was his girlfriend. Maybe something
right.
like that. You know, it's like we are human, so we can be jealous. We can have some envy. So it depends. But I don't know. It's like it's yeah. It's I don't know what to say. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
No, it's no, but it's a good uh story to just highlight these things. We're never gonna know why that is so important to him, but it's a good story to kind of show these differences. Um, I actually liked the way you said, and maybe I'm just gonna use that because basically what I'm doing in this podcast is very similar to what you just explained. You know, I
Mhm.
wanna get to know people. I want to understand where they're coming from. And so maybe the next episode, I'm just going to start with, instead of introduce yourself, I'm going to say, what is your history? Like the
Yeah, why
question that
not?
you
Why
just
not?
said.
Why
It's
not? Why is the next? I can do that if you want. I can ask to this question if you want. If you want. Well, yeah, okay. So my history. That's weird to answer the question I
that
just gave
you,
you.
yeah,
But yeah,
but it's
okay.
an interesting question.
So yeah, my history is like um, I was born in a rich neighborhood in Nice,
Mhm.
and I was really lucky in my childhood. Um, and my parents were working a lot as commercials, so they were selling a lot of stuff, and they won a lot of money because it was, you know, another time, you know,
Yeah.
back when we were able to win a lot of money euro when it was possible in Europe, like
Yes.
the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
So
Good times.
so yeah, so they get rich, kind of rich, and I was really lucky to be born in this kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Um, but with money and with work, I missed a lot of my parents. So
Right.
it's the price of working. So I discovered the music, the passion of music,
Mhm.
and I started to study music, a lot of classical music in schools, academy, and etc. And I did during 20 years music, classical music. My parents paid for these studies, so I'm proud about learned a lot of things, but I'm not really proud about it. They just paid this, so that was my childhood's, not really my adult life. And after that, I quit music, classical music, at 24 years old, and I had an opportunity to become music teacher in the
Oh.
middle school. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and and I was music teacher during 3 years, and I discovered the national education in France,
Mhm.
and that's a mess. That's a mess. There is a lot to change, I think, and I think it's already changing. Some things are changing a lot, and I discovered a lot of things about myself also because I was teaching to young people from 10 years old to 15 years old, and I had 650 students.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 20 classrooms. So
Right.
I discovered a lot. I already know. I always say that I learned more than I taught because I was just a
Mm.
music teacher. So it was just 1 hour a week. So three, 32, 33 hours a year. So that's not really a lot because in France we have a lot of holidays. We
Mm.
have 4 months holidays with students. So
Right.
that's like kind of more than you, I think, in
I,
Germany.
I think so. Yeah, we
S-
also, but yeah, not 4 months, maybe 2 or 3.
So yeah, so I discovered the education. I discovered also a lot of myself in this education. I learned a lot of life, about life, parents and children and teachers and governments also. And with this world, education. And after that, I quit a lot during the COVID, during the pandemic, because
Yeah.
I was not wanting to do that. It came to me, but I wanted to do something else, something out of the music. I wanted to quit music for good. Um, and um, and I became a carpenter. Yeah,
Oh,
back a carpenter, and I learned during 3 years as a carpenter in a traditional school, really old traditional school in France. And after that, after 3 years in France doing carpentry in southeast of France, still, I decided to discover another continent. So with these skills, carpentry skills,
right.
so I was like, I can do carpentry everywhere in the world because everywhere in the world we need people capable of doing things with hands.
Of course.
So I wanted to travel with this job, and I started by Australia. So that's why I'm here now. But I'm still doing music a lot. I mean,
I mean, I know.
you
We
know.
see you around the hostel playing your guitar, playing your ukulele, just loving it. And
I mean, it's. I think I tried to leave music, but I failed. I left classical music and fagot, bassoon music,
right.
but but I failed to quit music because I think it's full part of me, and it's my way to express what I feel, and that's I can't quit music. It's a wife, fully exigent wife, demanding wife, and
Yes.
uh, and maybe I will marry her when she will be able to feed me, which
That's
is
a
kind of
good
complicated, right?
metaphor. Yeah. No, but that's a beautiful metaphor. Um, Maybe let's take that because we're already in the discussion of music. Because from all the things you said, there is a lot of things that I definitely want to get into. There's
Yeah, of
so
course.
many interesting things that we can talk about with your story. So I'm so happy that well, basically you asked a question about
I mean,
what is your
thank
history.
you for taking my question.
I'm gonna definitely steal that in the next episode. Um, so the music though. So basically it has, even now, like you just said, always been part of your story. So um maybe just tell us again in your words. You already did, but what initially drew you to music when you fell in love with classical music? What was the thing where you basically you were like, okay, this is going to be the thing I focus my life on now. This is the thing that I'm going to go study. This is the thing I'm going to invest my time in. What amazed you about music at that stage?
I think, like every children, I wanted to be loved by my mother, and every son. I mean, the relationship between a son and a mom, it's really strong. It's the same as a girl and her dad. So
Right.
I think I wanted to be loved by my mom, and she started to listen classical music when she was pregnant of me.
Mm.
So she was listening Mozart and a lot of German music, actually,
Right.
Germanophone music, and so I was like born in music, and the first thing I heard, it was before my birth, and it was music. So
Mm.
so maybe that's why I felt comfortable with music, because I was, in a comfortable place, because it was not unknown for me.
Right.
So, and after that, I think my mom is a really, really special lady. She had a big history, and when she get divorced by with her husband, my father,
Mhm.
um, I was 7 years old, and I think the divorce uh, pushed me more in this place because I was comfortable in this place. I was loved in this place. So, and didn't want to be, a heavy thing, a big thing for my mom. I wanted to be successful for my mom because she had a lot of trouble with life, with divorce, with being a single mom, and two boys to handle and to
Right.
feed and etc. So I think I discovered that I was in this place because I couldn't be a bad boy, a bad child. So I stayed in classical music, and that's this reason which kept me. Sorry for my English, which
That's all good.
kept me in music uh, until I was 25 years old. So I think I did my teenage crisis really late at 25 years old, and I became new adult, after this stage. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I learned a lot in classical musical because I she pushed me a lot to become a musician, and I followed her, and I think I wanted to become something more than a classical musician since I was maybe 14 years old, something like that. But I couldn't because my mom was really, really demanding me because I was the good boy, the good boy.
Yes.
So after growing up, I decided to quit the way she wanted me to live, and I decided to live my own life. And that's why I wanted to quit music at all because I wanted to do 100% the thing, to really, like, when you're leaving a country, you want to learn another language. You want to
Yes.
discover a new way to live. You want to discover a new taste of food. You want to discover new jobs. So I did the same when I quit music because I wanted to discover another world,
Yes.
through the ways we live.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense.
that's why I did a big step. And the bigger step was from classical music and education. Even I was still a music teacher, I was in education. And the
Yes.
education world is not the same as the artistic world on stage with musicians. So from dealing with musicians and professional musicians and classical ones, they are really, really
Yeah.
specials. I became uh, an adult with children and talking about education and the way to behave with people through music, but still the job was not the same at all. So the big step was there. And after that, the story, carpentry, and etc. So yeah, music. Uh, I think I found music like a shelter, who protects me from the big bad things from life, like divorce, like everything. Like school. Sometimes school could be really hard for people, and so yeah, I think it was my first shelter.
S- So when you're talking about music, overall, it sounds like a positive thing, and the overall thing that you're saying is positive. But in the story you just told, what also shines through is that, and that's how I interpret it, is that it wasn't fully your decision. It was your decision in the sense that, it made sense, because it is something your mother liked. You did it for because of the love towards your mother. Um, and so right now, basically, it is obviously a hard question to answer, I feel like, because that is the life you know. But do you ever think you would be better off without having music that early on? Do you think that the alternative life without music would have been a better one?
Like the alternative of being in music
A- And
or
not
out
being in
music.
music at all.
Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I think in French we are saying in French, we are saying on coupe beaucoup de bois avec des si, on coupe beaucoup de bois because si is if.
Yes.
So with if, we can say a lot of things. If
Right.
something happened and something it doesn't happen. So I think it's a good question because it's always good to to think about what if. But with what if we could do a lot of TV shows, like like MCU,
Ex-
MCU are doing,
exactly.
so like multiverse and etc. So that's like, but I think I'm not seeing my life like this. I'm happy about what I lived because what I lived it's made me now, and I'm still alive. So that's a good thing. And I think everything happens for a reason, and this reason we'll never know. That's the game, That's the game
Yes.
of life. And I think we can just have a good way to see what happened to us and to choose to use this experience to do something good. And um and uh and I don't believe about regretting stuff. I think we can just accept what happened to us and doing something with this. And that's the way I'm living now. But I've been in this place of putting everything in questions about my life. Why this happened to me? Was
Right.
I was really really unhappy with this, and I discovered that accepting what we've been through is accepting ourselves, and I think accepting ourselves is the first step to be happy. And after that, when you accept what you are, it's demanding a lot of time. I'm 31 years old now, and I think I'm just starting to understand these parts of accepting what I am.
Right.
Sometimes I'm struggling still because I'm still struggling because sometimes I'm impatient, or sometimes I'm human. So sometimes I'm in a bad moods, but
Of
I'm
course.
just starting to understand this part of being happy. And um and I, I think it took time. Uh, for some people, they are understanding this at 10 years old, and some people they are understanding at 45 or 55. I don't know, but I think the most important thing is to, it's to see your life like a book. Like when you're reading a book, inside the book there are parts, bad parts and good parts and sad parts, and sometimes characters are dying. Sometimes these characters are being saved. So
Right.
they are good and bad. And good and bad is is the same medal, like it's one medal, bad and good. So if you are seeing your life as a book, you can just like the book because it's your book, it's your life. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to be in this way to think all I can. Every day I want to be like
I'm so happy I asked the question because all the things you just said, you spoke from my heart because
thank you.
that's how I feel as well. And I feel like that is the most important journey that one has to make, and that no one can force on you, because I can tell you from personal experience as well. Like there was times where I wasn't, well, like you said as well, like we all have these things, where we weren't accepting, where I wasn't accepting, where I was thinking a lot, where I was thinking about things that happened a week ago, and I was like, "Oh, I should have done this, I should have done that." And to eventually realize, well, it's all done. It doesn't, like, you don't need to be sitting here thinking about something that happened in the past. Like it doesn't help you. But the whole thing, it is such a process to just, like you said, accept yourself. And what I found as well is, because we talked about the travel and about it, how it subconsciously, like, changes the way you interact. This accepting yourself definitely changes how you interact with the world, because before you can really accept yourself, in my opinion, it's so hard for you to interact with other people, because if you have that conflict within yourself, you're gonna be having conflicts outside as well. So
Yeah, that's true. I'm 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 saying a lot this kind of this sentence. How could it be possible to love other people when you're not loving yourself?
right.
And I think the most difficult parts, the most difficult thing you can have to do in life is loving yourself. And love is a verb; it's not a word. It's loving is an action. It's
Right.
something to do, not something to have. And so a lot of people are mixing this. They are mixing love with desire, with envy, with
Mm,
dream. And I think when we are loving something on someone or anything, we are doing something. It's like a work. It's like a work. It's like you have to do every day something.
yes.
And I think it's starting with brushing your teeth. You know, it's like starting with doing a little bit of sports.
Mm,
It's starting doing with talking with your family and and eating well. So if you are not you know, treating yourself good, you will not treating other people good, and they will not answer good. So that's just a
yeah.
circle. And you know, when I was a teacher, I quit. I left education because I was in a depression, and I
Right.
did a depression. It's a disease. It's a disease. It's a disease when you are seeing life with a dark glasses. You know, it's like a real disease,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are not understanding that it's a disease. It's not a way to see things. It's not being angry all the time or being sad. It's just a fucking disease. And sorry for this word, but
No, that's
yeah.
fine.
And
That's totally fine on this podcast.
yeah, when I'm talking about depression, I think I can use this kind of word. But yeah, and when I was teaching the young people, when I was starting to feeling bad because I was getting ill, getting sick,
Right.
I could feel the vibes in the classroom with children. And I quit not because I was not happy with these children.
Mm,
I quit because I felt that I was not good enough for them.
right.
And when my supervisor called me and told me, why did you quit? Because I think he liked me. He liked the way I was teaching the people. I just said, I'm depressed. I'm doing a depression. And I
Right.
was not feeling good for my teacher. Of course, I left because I could. I left because I could go back to my parents' place. I left
Mm,
because I could just stop paying rent and just stop paying food because my parents were able to do that. And and I was lucky to be able to do that. But what about these teachers getting depressed and they are not able to do that? So that's a big problem. And I think a lot of teachers in France are depressed and they can't escape. They just have holidays to rest and to go back. And I think also Jim Carrey, the actor,
yes.
is he had a lot of depression,
Definitely.
and he's because he's like I think he has a mentally sickness about being really good and really bad, and he has big waves in his mindset.
Yes.
And he's talking about depression, and he's talking. I love the way he's talking about depression because he's talking. He's saying like when we are depressed, it's because we were so pressed that the body
Mm,
and the mind just want to depress. And
right.
depression is just a depression. It's like your body, your mind is letting go everything, and you don't want to do anything. And
Mm,
it's just a process, and you need to just let it go and rest about everything before going back to the light, going back to the pressure. And I think that's why I love him because he has a way. You know, Americans sometimes has good sentences. You know, really really short ones and directly to the point.
Right.
And I love this kind of way to talk, and especially in English. And so, yeah, when I did my depression, I was depressed about all the classical music world I lived. And when I became a teacher, I had time to think about it because I had some holidays, 4 months a
Mm.
year, and depression started. And I think I left, and I my depressions ended a few years ago. But my body and my mind needed that to evolve. That's
Mm.
to learn, to, so yeah, that's all.
Like you said, everything happens for a reason. I mean, obviously, it it is hard to say that like you needed to be depressed because, like I said, it is a sickness, and you don't really want to talk about someone needs to go through a sickness in order to come better. But I I do feel like um I'm I'm not sure. I wouldn't say that I was depressed because I don't know if I clinically was, and I know that it is a severe thing. So I don't want to put myself on the same spot there. But when I was finishing my studies, I had a time where I basically felt directionless, and my body was also lacking motivation to do anything. I was very without a goal, and um, I feel in hindsight now that I definitely needed to have that point in my life because that basically led to me going to Portugal, that led to me like discovering travel again.
And find new ideas. Yeah.
Exactly. So we we do need these times sometimes. Do need to like pull ourselves away from everything and be with ourselves and basically see, okay, so what do I what does my body, my mind need? What do I need to put my focus on?
I think I can see that we have different levels of depression. You know, you had a depression. It's a bad word because a lot of people are taking it like a disease or something like that. But I
Mm,
had a official depression with medicaments and medication,
right.
etc. But we everybody has little depressions or little bad mood. And I think weekends are little depressions of week. You know, if you are doing something 5 days a week, working 8 hours a day,
Mm,
and you will not have the willingness to do the same in the weekend. That's normal. I'm doing carpentry every day of the week, 7 hours a day in Australia because it's 7 hours a day here. It's really, really easy. But
right.
during the weekend, I don't want to do the same. I'm outside all the week. During the weekend, I want to be inside. Even it's sunny, even there is beaches and everywhere,
Mm,
So it's the same. When I was a musician, I was doing music all year long. And when I was saying during my holidays that I was a musician, people were saying, "Ah, what do you play? Could you play?"
mm,
And I was like, "No, I don't want to play because it's my
yes.
job, and I don't want to do my job during my holidays." So
Yes.
I think, yeah, it's like there is different levels of depression, and I think the big depression is when everything is falling apart. And I like to see the mind with five big pillar, five big strong structure:
Hmm.
family, friends, job, health, and the fifth one is purpose. And I think when we're losing two or three of these, we are starting to getting in depression. We need at least three of these 4 or 5 pillars to be able to walk and to go forward. Sometimes when you're losing your girlfriend, your lover, your one a part of your family, you are losing a part of your pillars.
Yes.
And I can talk about this beautiful movie, Upside Down. It's a Pixar movie.
Right. I know that
It's
movie. I just
it's about a teenage girl, and her and her parents, they are moving out a city to go in another city. We were talking about moving out cities
yes,
in the beginning, and she getting kind of depressed because all the emotions inside of her mind are struggling about the new informations, and also she's evolving because she's getting older.
right,
And this beautiful movie is talking about the mind of a teenager um, in front of great changements. For adults, moving, changing cities, that's okay. But for a teenager, it's big, you know.
of course,
So, and I love this way Pixar describe mental things for children because it's easy to understand. And I love also watching this kind of movie because sometimes I'm a child and I like to learn stuff, you know.
of
And I'm not a
course.
psychiatrist, doctor or something like that. No, I'm not really. I didn't know studies in this kind of mind, complicated things, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's interesting. It's really easy to understand.
Um, one other thing that you said, I just because it's really refreshing to see how like reflective you are as well in your thoughts and how you um analyze everything that happened to you and compare it to other people. So the one sentence that really struck me as well is when you were saying you were lucky that you had your family to fall back on and you actually could take that time to you know get better and be have that for yourself because a lot of people do have that financial thing that just keeps them there. um, do you feel like when you said that you think that a lot of teachers are depressed, do you feel like teaching is a profession where contributes to people getting depressed?
No, I would say not that. I wouldn't say that. I think I think I'm just talking about friends, of course, because I just experiment education in my country, and I did just 2 years and a half with the pandemic. It was kind of special.
Right.
So so 3 years in my mind, but it was 2 years and a half because the third year was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And but I think in France there is a big problem in education. I mean, there was, but because I don't really know how it evolved since, but
Yes.
still it's still going on because we have a big we had big changements. Um, a lot of teachers they are 45, 50 years old, and that's the youngest one because we have old children, old teachers, you know.
Right.
And I met a guy, a teacher, history teacher,
Hmm.
and for me he was like my dad but older, you know, like my dad in education, you know, like it was my father, spiritual father as a teacher because I wanted to
Yes.
learn how to become a teacher. I didn't choose to do that. They came to me and they asked me to become a teacher, and I was just an instrumentist, you know, I was just a player. So
Yeah.
I had to learn a lot, and in a quick time, really fast. To so I asked to all my colleagues, English teachers, Spanish teachers, mathematics teachers, history, etc. And I was like really curious about how they are doing the job because I wanted to earn my money, my money every month. So
Yeah.
I talked a lot to this history teacher, and he saw his first students were not on internet. His first students were they didn't have phones,
Yes.
and in 35 years of a career, he saw children becoming from just having conversations in real life with friends in classroom. He saw children with three screens, different screens, talking to people from all around the world, and through video games, through social network, through a lot of platforms, and how could you improve your program and your way to teach people when you're watching the world evolving so fast with screens. So also YouTube and the platforms to learn some stuff.
Yeah.
I had some students. They talked to me really directly because some of them were really frank, and they said to me, "But teacher, but Mister, I mean, we could learn that with YouTube." And I was like, "Yeah, try.
Yeah.
I mean, try it. You will see." But because I was confident, because I did 20 years of music playing, so I was a professional in music playing. But some of the teachers, they just learned 3 years. During 3 years, they learned their own words to teach, like history or English.
Yes.
And after that, they are with children. So the system is good in France because we can see a lot of formations, a lot of you know way to learn for teachers to be able to evolve and to adapt their way to teach. But I feel that since maybe 5 years or 7 years in France, there is something wrong. There is something wrong because there is a delay between children, between teachers, and between governments. There is a delay. Something is the Wi-Fi is not passing good.
Right.
And so, and I felt as a teacher that governments were playing with arguing between teachers and parents. But teachers
Mm.
and parents, they have the same purpose: children.
Yes.
So, and I think children, anywhere they can be, anywhere anything they can have, they will learn something because it's natural to learn. And I think also we have to put games
Mm.
into the education because when we are watching some animals on the TV, or even in your house when you're with your cats, they are playing so much in the beginning of their lives. Dogs the same.
Yeah.
And after that, the man decided to cut the thing, and and to keep them childish. But after that, if you let a cat growing up and natural grow up, he becomes an adult. He becomes calmer, and after that, he has children, and he become protecting with the children. And the children, they are playing a lot. We are animals. We still are animals, and the children, they have curiosity deep inside them.
Of
And
course.
governments in France, the government of France, he wants to control the education to be able to have people who thinks that France is good. That's normal. That's natural. And the thing is now with everything is happening in Europe with the Ukraine and etc. The government wants the people who want to protect France. And how is it
Right.
possible to protect France? With weapons. So, and I don't like this. During history, every time during history, we saw big crisis, big pandemic. And after big pandemics, panic vibes, we saw nationalism and wars and borders closing. And I don't want to do that because that's the first time ever in Europe we were in peace during 80 years. That's the first time ever in Europe, the most violent continent in the world.
Yeah.
We had peace between English, German, French, Italian, Spanish. I mean, we've been in war during so many centuries, and now 80 years of peace. Now it's starting to falling apart a little bit, and I don't want to see that. And and so I think with internet we have a chance to be close to people, different people, and we have a chance to stay friends with people all around the world.
Mm,
And I think that's was the first purpose of internet: be related with people from all around the world.
definitely.
So, and I will finish with one thing that Victor Hugo, a writer in France, used to say. He said that one day we'll all talk the same language, and maybe you and me we will see that when we will be old. And I think it's still is starting to be real. I think there are people, a lot of people are talking English to be able to work and travel all around the world. A lot of people are talking Spanish to be able to travel
Yeah.
all around the world. And a lot of people, they are talking Indian and Chinese. So it's just four languages. And with these four languages, that's possible to learn four languages in the life. That's possible.
Yeah.
We can talk to everybody in the world. So that's just a start. And I think he was right to tell this. I'm not agree about everything he said, of course, because it's another time. But yeah. So education now it's closing. I feeling that it's closing because of history, because history is moving a lot. So I'm afraid about the next step in this way. But when I see some young people now, it's getting me hope, because it's giving me hope because I met some people, medicine students, or young people in the hostel, 20 years old,
Mm,
and they are talking about, they are singing themselves as world citizen. So
yes.
I love this way to think. We have one planet, and we are completely dependent of this planet and the food she can give us. So yeah, in French, Earth is female.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, and so let's do something with that, not just borders and languages and ethic and ethnic and race and something like that. We don't give a shit about that. We are all related with one world. So that is the most important things to say, I think.
Definitely.
Sorry, that was really long.
No, I loved it.
Sorry.
I loved it. It's again for me, it's spectacular to see how your brain works.
No, thank
Because
you. Hasta bit.
no, and I mean the people that listen to it, they heard it because there's so much thought in there. From I mean, initially, I don't even remember where we started off. We started with depression and teachers, and
Yeah.
basically, it's it's so good to see all these good ideas that are in your head and that you, like I said, you are so reflective of, and um, all of that, and all these things that you said are true, and it is things that are going on, and um, basically, I want to take it a step back again, though, because and like I said, honestly, make your answer as long as you want because
Okay. Okay.
it is.
I mean, you're able to notice some point in my speech. So that's really nice to talk with you, because you are able to just take the points of my on my way to talk, and we can go back to these points, because I'm putting, my brain is like a tree. It's like going everywhere, at the same time. So it's good to have
Yes.
you, because we have to stop me sometime.
Well, the thing is, like, while you were talking, I already thought how we could easily make this last 3 hours, but obviously we're not going to. But there's so many things that we could talk about, and it's so easy to talk to you about these things because it just
Thank
comes
you.
naturally. So I guess I'll see how long we're still going, but um,
I don't know what is your habits with the time you're recording. You're recording.
usually they go about an hour to 1.5 hours. So since we're already at almost an hour, we're probably gonna aim for 1.5. But
Yeah. Okay.
let's see. Maybe we immediately run out of stuff to say, but I I doubt it. Um, so anyway, I wanted to go back because it's also a topic that I'm very interested in because I told you actually on the way over here that I have been a trainer for the last 2 years. It's been my job to, I would call it educate people on like a company, on the way that you use company software, on the way of how you represent the company. And obviously, it isn't education in the sense of a state education, but I really liked being able to help people, being able to, and like the things you said in the beginning really resonated with me as well, because I feel like through teaching people, we do learn a lot ourselves. Because with being with people and seeing how people respond to specific things, how we treat them as teachers as well, and you can really, everyone, again, I believe, can learn a lot from just helping other people in specific topics. If there's something you're really good at, just teach it to someone else, just share those things with other people. And by doing that, you will learn so much more about the stuff yourself and yourself as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, can I cut you
of
about this?
course.
I mean, it's like I I have a guy in mind. I don't remember his name. He's kind of famous in France. He's a smart guy, and I remember about what he said about that, about sharing knowledge. And I think
Right.
if you have, you know, 20 euros or $20, and if you share that with a friend, you will lose 10, and she will win. He will win um, 10. Okay, so that's, you have to lose half of you have
Mm,
to give, but with knowledge it's exponential. It's
right.
like multiply everything. So if you are, you know something, and if you know how to tell it, and if you know to be understandable, um you will confirm what you know, and you will give what you know to something else, and this guy or this girl will understand what you are telling, and he will keep for himself what he understood, and he will be able someday maybe to understand and to process in his mind and to give the same knowledge to another one, and you will be just in the confirmation of what you know. And that's a good part about sharing knowledge. I think in this way to talk, the better way to do that is to try to be wrong. You know, when you
Mm,
want to explain something to someone, if you are in a respectful place, and if you are respectful with each other, and if you are listening, and you will maybe say some things wrong. I mean, maybe I said something wrong now before, and I love when people say to me, "No, you're wrong." I mean, I'm
right.
not thinking the same way you are thinking. Maybe it's not that, it's that, and and let's deal with it. No, and I love
Mm,
to talk and to find a way to be, because when you are, I will try to be more clear. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
no, you're,
But
you're
I mean, when you think something, I mean, you think this tree is green, and I think this tree is blue. Okay,
right.
I will tell everything about this way to think. No, no, no. It's blue because the light, because of everything, the grass. Okay, and you will say, okay, I listen to you, but you're wrong. I'm not agree. I don't agree. And it is green. And you will say why. And after that, we will talk, 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 and talk. And we will find a way to understand the point of view of the other. And even if we are not agree, it's good to talk. And it's good to know that other people think the different way. And
Definitely.
even you, if you not agree about something, you can just understand and accept that people are different and people thinks different ways. And that's learning. That's learning about all of the people. So I remember a story about a guy I met in Tasmania. He was like really, really on left in politics, you know. And I was kind of all right because I was raised by, by commercials, so monies. So, and I
Yeah.
was kind of rich when I was young. So when he talked about politics, he was from Belgium.
Right.
And we were like, different in a different way to think. But we were really happy to talk because we were open and we
Yeah.
were interested by what the other is talking. That's like arguing with a friend, you know? Sometimes you have a friend, and it's like a chess party, you know? It's like a game. You
Yeah.
are not, you are wrong, now you are wrong, no, no, but you are still friend.
Of
And
of
it's like
course.
the good part of being able to just accept the point of view of people. And accepting point of view of people, it's not refusing your own. It's just accepting what they are and that they are thinking, and that's okay. And it's just thoughts, you know. There are
Mm.
billions of thoughts, so it's just the thoughts. It's not acts. Acts and thoughts are not the same. So that's it.
No, that again ties in perfectly. I feel like into the point we make in this whole podcast, which is perspective again. You just have to be open to more perspectives because the more closed up you are, the less like acceptable or like you are to receive these things. Because I mean, we're obviously talking in a way that we are curious. We do want to share, but there is a lot of people still in this world that would just go like, "No, the tree is green. The tree's green. I'm not going to listen to you."
Yeah, but that's normal. That's natural also because sometimes we need borders. Our minds is we have to know borders in our minds. We have to make to put some things in case, something in box. That's the way we are thinking. That's normal.
Mm,
When we are young, we learned that we were young in this year, so we were part of people who was born in this year, like
right.
93, 90. Okay, and after that we learned that okay, I'm a boy, you're a girl.
Mm,
Now it's changing with everything and with science, and I'm not part of this generation. That's okay. It's new, but
yeah.
I'm not used to it. But that's okay. It's new. And but when I was young, it's like it was girl and boy. Okay, I'm a boy because I have a pee.
Yeah.
That's all. You know, it's what I want. After that, I understood that okay, I like sport. I'm playing soccer. Okay, so I'm playing soccer. So I'm in group of people are playing soccer. And after that, I was playing music. Okay, in the group of musicians. And every time when you're growing up, you are putting yourself in some groups. Like, okay, I'm doing music. Okay, I'm doing soccer. Okay, I'm a boy. Okay, I'm from this year. And after that, okay, I'm from this city.
Mm,
Okay, I'm from this country. And that's what we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast. It's like borders. Everything is about borders. And sometimes when you're afraid, you want to keep your borders because it's protecting yourself. And that's normal. And that's
mm,
you need that. You just want to be just with your family or just with your animal, just with your pet or just
mm,
alone. And but sometimes you want to explore. And it's like waves, exploring and retreating, exploring and retreating. But unfortunately, some people they are staying in behind the borders. And
yes.
I'm afraid with the new technologies today, maybe they are staying with their own borders before the algorithm and something like that.
Right.
But I think I'm afraid about this because it's new for me and I'm not from this part of the generation. But
Mm,
I think maybe people, 20 years old people, they are okay with this. And they are living with
they can handle it.
technology and real friends in real life. And they know how to because they know it. They evolved. So everything is about point of view and borders. And I think you're feeling really happy when you are able break a border because you are discovering something new. And I think that is nothing more really, really powerful to be happy and about being happy when you are learning something new. Learning something is the best thing you can do. When we are learning something, we are we are young enough to, we are young again. We are some new child, and I think if you are not learning something anymore, you will getting bored,
Mm.
and you'll feel like your life is passing for nothing. And we have one life, so let's just learn some new things. Like break the borders.
I because you always have these quotes ready. I know that I don't know who said it either, but I know that there's a saying something along the lines if you stop learning, you stop living.
Yeah, that's
Because
really true. Yeah,
then you need to we humans we need to learn. That's basically how we keep ourselves alive.
and I think there is two parts in learning. There is um, watching, admiring, loving people, like with your eyes, with your ears. You will be in an admiration. Like
Yes.
you will love someone because he's doing something so well. Like let's take soccer for example, because in Europe it's really famous, and I love
Yes.
soccer. So, do you love soccer?
I do. I grew
Okay,
up with
so
it as well.
let's take for example, Mbappe, the
Yes.
player is really famous. I think everybody knows him. Um, he was loving Zidane and Cristiano Ronaldo, and he was admiring them as a child. And after that, he breaks the step and he said, "Okay, my turn.
Mm.
I want to to try to be the same as them, and maybe even better." And I think there is two parts in learning. There is the first part where you are watching everything, you are learning everything, like watching, taking notes, watching movies, watching stuff, heroes. And after that, there is a part of your life you want to try, you want to experiment. We are misunderstanding that it's not just for child to watching and to watching before trying. There are not two parts in life, beginning and end. And first part is watching, and listening. And second
Mm.
part, trying. I think we are doing both. And there are sometimes you want to try, sometimes you want to watch. And I think that's a good part. And yeah, that's what I was wanting to say about this. And I think we have to stop to to want other people stop trying. You know, it's
Mm.
okay to try. It's okay to fail. Um,
Yes.
Without failures, there's no lessons. So just try it. Just try it. Do it and fail. But that's going to be okay because you did it, tried it. And after that, if it's not good, you can try again or you can do another stuff. So we are not doing omelets without breaking eggs. It's not the same. That's the same thing. Yeah.
So, do you feel like, because that's actually the question I wanted to ask before, but then we
Yeah,
got
of
away
course.
again, which is
Go
which is
ahead. Go ahead.
great. But it actually ties in now with what you just said because um, you talked about the education problem in France, and I would go further and say every country still has an education problem. And do you feel like part of the problem with people are being afraid to try is because in school we are like basically taking that away from them? We're basically saying, so this is right, this is wrong, don't go outside of it. You think we're discouraging
I think
children from trying?
that's a good question. I think that's the problem is we have to simplify everything for children because they have not the same brain than us. I think we are stopping to growing biologically speaking. All our body we are stopping at 25,
Mm.
and a lot of things happening in our brain, in our body, um, from 0 to 25. So maybe that's different from women, but it's close. And um, and I think we have to simplify everything to children because it. They want to have some clearness in the
Right.
speech of who is teaching. So that's why we are saying good, saying bad, saying because when you are telling a story, you can't say to children, "Okay, let's talk about strong stuff." Okay, during the Second World War, there were bad guys and good guys. France were good, and they were invaded by bad guys, Nazis. Okay, Nazis were from Germany. Okay, but after that, USA saved us, and now we're happy. We
Mm.
have to say things like that because we have to be clear for other people. After that, when you
Right.
grow up and you become an adult, you learn some new way to think. You read some books and you talk with people. And the most important thing is to talk to people different than you. Is you discovering that history is not black or white; it's gray
Mm-mm.
and it's full of colors. And you discover that there is so many different like history is not absolute truth. History
Mm.
is a version of truth from a point of view,
Right.
and that's the thing. And sometimes people are taking history to talking about politics, and I don't like because it's like not now. Politicians, they are working for present, not for past, and
Mm.
so that's what I was thinking about that. And for children, you just have to be to be simple. I'm from music, classical music, and the way we are thinking artists, it's really simple because we are basically I was just blowing in the tube and making some sounds. So basically, and after that I left because I wanted to do something else. And after that I became a carpentry. So I'm just, hitting some nails with my hammer. So
Right.
it's not really, really complicated. It's not, I'm not a doctor. I'm not, chirurgeon, surgeon. So that's like, but I lived enough to know that life is really precious and present is really precious. And I think we are, you know, a lot of people are around us just to help us, And if you're not able to accept that, you will be close to that. You won't, you won't grow. So, and I think we meet people for good or just good reason. And if you are close, you will not see this. Do you know this joke about a guy is getting in a in a sand trick, like it's like water but with sand. And
Right.
if you're going like Indiana Jones movie, if
Oh
you're going in
yeah.
the sand, it's like getting down and getting down. I don't know the name in English.
Yes. Yeah, I know
it's
what you're
it's
talking
the
about.
sand trick,
Yeah.
and it's getting drowned in the sand trick and in the sand, and he will die. And he's praying God, God, help me, help me, help me. And after a while, he's almost completely inside the
Go.
sand, and some firemen are coming, and he's saying, "No, that's okay. God will help me." And after
Right.
that, they're leaving, and after the second one, he's coming. No, no, God will leaving me. And after that, it's the third one, and he's dying. And after that, when he come to heaven, for me, for my education, it's heaven, the name, but I don't know. I know that a lot of people are not believing in the same names, but I think that's just names. That we are
Yeah.
all talking about the same. And
Yeah.
like at the end, he's seeing God, and God saying, what the fuck? What are you? What? And the guy is, but I prayed you, and I wanted to be saved. And God just said, I sent you 3 firemen, and you were in the
Exactly.
middle of deserts. So why didn't didn't you accept that? So that's not the same. When you are meeting some new people in your life, if you are closed, you won't see the opportunities. For example, us, that's my first, my first time ever to just play on a podcast with a guy who's doing podcast, and I'm really
Right.
glad to do that. And I was not prepared to do that, and you told me, yeah, let's do this, and I was okay, and I had a little fear, like it's new, it's like, oh, okay,
Of course.
but yeah, you
You
just
see the result.
yeah, it's like it's good. Yeah, it's like a conversation just with a screen
Yeah.
next to us. That's the same, and and I really like that. And it's new, and for me, it's gonna be a memory for all my life, and a good memory. And I hope it's gonna be the same
It's
for you.
it's a
And
perfect memory for me.
so yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's it. And opportunities. People are just opportunities to you. If you are open to people, they will give you some opportunities. And life is it, a life can change with opportunity. And do you remember the name? The film, the movie. It's like in French, it's à la recherche du bonheur, and it's like
Uh,
looking for happiness,
the
something like that.
Pursuit of
The
Happiness
Pursuit of
with
Happiness.
Will
This movie
Smith.
is beautiful.
Yes.
Will Smith and his son,
His
Janet
son,
Janet
yes.
Smith, I think, and he's an inventor. For our listener, I can just describe the movie without spoiling it. It's an inventor. He invented a machine for health, for I think for opticians, something like that,
Yeah.
and he's trying to sell it. He's trying to sell it, and he has to take care of his young 4 years old boy, and he was really poor, and he's really struggling with life, and one day he meets a guy, and that's changed his life just with one opportunity, with through one people. So that's it. It's like, I think, if you are open to life, open to what happened to you, if you are reading the book of your present,
Mhm.
if you are turning pages and just reading the page of your day, you can just, jump on opportunities. And thinking about past is not good. Too much is not good. It's not to, it's good. It's good to understand your past, to accept it, but it's not good to think about it all the time. And also, it's not good to think about future, because when you are not thinking about future and not thinking about well, sorry, when you are thinking about your future, you are not thinking about your present. And it's the same for past. If you're thinking about your past, you are losing present to think about it. So,
Yes.
today with notifications, with social network, with screens,
Mm.
with emails, with everything, we are always thinking about, okay, who texts to me? Okay, I will see him in 3 hours. Okay, oh, he just said that. Oh, what did he say that to me before? Because of yesterday. Okay, so it's always yesterday and tomorrow, and we are passing too much time on screens to read yesterday and prepare tomorrow. And I think we just have to shut down this fucking screen. Maybe during the day, evening is okay if you want to sleep, and to
Right.
close your doors because you're tired. That's okay. But during the day, everything happening,
You need to be.
everything could happen in a. And I will end with another movie, because I'm watching a lot of movie. I know, Soul from Pixar also.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's,
that's a beautiful movie.
that's a beautiful movie, and it's talking. I was feeling so much the same as this character. I was a classical musician. I wanted to become a classical musician in orchestra, and I was looking for that, closing doors because I wanted to become someone.
Right.
And and I discovered, after few experience, I discovered that life is not that. Sometimes dreams are making you close to life, and that's the trick. We always, saying that you have to follow your dreams, you have to follow dreams. I think it's not the answer. The answer is, I think you have to feel today, present. Like, okay, today is done. What did I do? did I do today? And what will do tomorrow? And okay. And that's just reading the day, not the dream of in 10 years and in 15 years, that's like, that's stupid. We can't, prepare what it will happen in 2 years. And now in our world, with all the bad facts, we can't pretend what is happening in 1 month or in 1 week.
Yes.
So just live your day. After your day in the night, before sleeping, just think about it a little bit. Oh, what did I do? And okay, what will I do tomorrow? And every day a little bit. And life is going on. That is to say.
Well, actually, that was the perfect way to end it anyway. I just decided not to ask any more questions because, as you did during the whole podcast, if people actually listen to the things you said, there's so many beautiful things that people can take away from it and people can learn from. And in the last 5 minutes, especially, like there's really good things that everyone should really just live their life by. And yeah, as it is now starting to rain.
Like a storm is coming. Like it's like windy and the wake up Australia. It's autumn now. It's not summer anymore.
So it does want us to end the episode. So Luca, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you too. Thank you too.
Of course. And I heard you had fun. That's always the important thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it definitely became a very, very good episode with a lot of things that people can use to think about, that can use to learn from. And that's what we do it for. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.